Say yes to new beginnings.
Yes.
Say yes to new beginnings.
Yes.
Say yes
To excel in one's field as a woman, what must one do?
I think the first thing is even to be sure what you want to do. I always say that passion is a driver, all right? Passion is a driver, but clarity is even more important. So if you're very clear, if you're intentional as to what you want to do and where you want to go, then you will excel. And this is whether you're male or female. You know, the same things hold true regardless of your gender disposition. Where do you want to go? How do you want to get there? It's clear. You know, but if you're not sure in your mind where you want to go, then you have a problem figuring out how to get there. It's really as simple as that. When you're sure where you want to go, then you figure out how you want to get there. Then passion becomes a driver that takes you where you want to go, you know. But if you're not sure, then we have a problem. So clarity is important.
Interesting. Now, despite having a privileged background, you have also done very, very well on your own. What were some of the things you did, that propelled you to where you are at the moment?
I think when you're raised, the two parents who raised me are very hardworking people.
Okay.
And I guess I come from a tradition of hardworking people. And I come from a tradition of strong women. My great-grandmother on my mother's side was the first Opobo woman to build a block house. And she sat with kings. You know, when the chief sat, she was invited into meetings. And I recall that she was one of those in the Aba Women's Riot. And she played politics in those days, in the Zikist movement. She was a strong member of the Zikist movement. My great aunt was woman leader of Zikist movement as far back as then. My great grandmother was a landlord and had houses in those days we called it Igwenga, present day Korabasi. And so during the Aba Women's Riot, she was one of those who went to fight the matter of taxes. My great aunt, when the soldiers came to Opobo to arrest them, swam from Opobo to Otaiwa to act while they were shooting. So I come from a tradition of hardworking and strong women and hardworking people. My grandmother on my mother's side would ride bicycle for miles, and she was a pastor's wife. My grandmother on my father's side, even though she was a housewife, was tailoring, a seamstress. She's actually an Ungwa woman, and Ungwa women are hardworking. So my grandmother, after whom I was named on my father's side, from Amapu Orienta, was a very hardworking woman. I would be, even though her husband was a palm oil trader, had tons of money, she would keep her machine and be sewing for people. So I come from a tradition of hard work, and it wasn't do any less.
Now, you are one of the most accomplished, female journalists that I know. How did it all begin, and how were you able to get to where you are currently in the journalism profession?
Journalism, and I say that anybody who truly is in journalism is there because they have a death wish or they have a messianic mentality. It just has to be, because it's not like being a journalist is at least in the days we did it wasn't the most paying job in the world. I don't think it still is. But it is something you do because you truly have a heart to make a difference. And for me, journalism remains literally in my bloodline. It's just, I dream it, I eat it, I breathe it. Communications is everything to me. I recall when I was in secondary school and I told my father, so when I was thinking of the things to do in my life, I'll just give you my career choices and you will see that all of them were linked. I kind of wanted to be an archaeologist so that I would go and dig and find out, trace what was happening in the future. Or I wanted to do criminology so that I could investigate. I'd always been fascinated by investigation and finding out things and occurrences. And then I said, okay, I'll be a lawyer. And the whole point of it was just to make sure I could find out things that were going on and support and make a difference in the lives of people. And so for me, journalism was more than just a job. It was literally like a ministry. And it's something I love very passionately. So, when you love something, the truth is that you will follow it with all your heart. You will do it without thinking. You will do it without, It won't even, communication is something I eat, sleep. Like my mother would say, that's your meat, literally. And I still believe that journalism is one tool, or is one career, or is one profession that can actually change things. I've done stories that have made a difference in this country, and I've been proud to do them. And regardless of what they say about the media and about journalists, we do make a difference. There is democracy today because some of us literally laid our lives down. We were hiding, we were in every kind of place to ensure that we had a democratic regime. And it doesn't really matter what people say. The reality is, if you were there when the military junta stayed, when some of us had to run and hide in garages and do drum meetings in filling stations, then you would know that it is not fun to say, let the military return. I literally had to escape and from place to place. And, that's a story for maybe some other time. But the reality is that when people talk about what they really don't know, because they've never experienced it, because they were in their comfort zones, when some of us had to ensure that there was a difference in Nigeria's government. So today they can say things, today they can wish things. I tell people, I say, as young as a 15-year-old, I have pounded the streets. We have pounded the streets and insisted and demanded for better governance. And when I got invited to be commissioner, I recall that what my bosses, Dan Agbese and Nosa Ijepo, said to me at different times, because I went to seek them. They were my fathers, my bosses, my friends in the profession. And I said, I have this offer, what should I do? And I recall that Nosa said, well, it's time to put your money where your mouth is. You stayed on this side, you've written, now go and show them that it's possible to make a difference. I went to Dan, and Dan said to me, state your conditions, make it clear, and if it's not working, return, but make sure you go and prove that, yes, everything we say is possible. So for me, really, journalism is literally my life's, I don't know, I can't think anything I love more than journalism.